Hello my Sea brothers, sisters and siblings, Seabro here, and today we will be reviewing a low Diamond Ashe player on Eigenwald. First off, sorry guys for the long gap in content, been a busy bee, but here I am with some more content, yay! You can thank Wyvern Pass for this video, wasn't planning on doing another VOD review for a while, but he warmed me up with some nice kind words, so here we are. Okay, so we are running Sigma Hog with a Genji Ashe and an Ana Zen. Whoop-de-doo. They, the enemy, are running a similar-ish composition. Both compositions are wanting to play off angles, control sightlines, etc, etc, etc. But they are the defending team, so they have it a lot easier because they already have these nice angles that they can take, whereas you have to force your way through a choke. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this matchup is going to be pretty much just come down to who can click on heads better, and who can control the wider angles. Anyways, rambling over, let's see what you can do. Already playing a little bit split, I like it. Your team look like they are rushing through the choke. Lovely angle. We notice a Widow is staring at us, nice. We take a different angle, nice, nice. It was a risky dynamite, but that's just unlucky. We peek the enemy when we are on like 50 HP. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Honestly, what an alpha play. You are looking for these angles and it's beautiful, but your team is not exactly ready to push. So you can't really be main tanking that. If you are going to solo flank the enemy, then you need at least the rest of your team to be putting enough pressure on at least one angle. And you should probably be waiting for your Zen Orb. Also, a pretty big point is you should probably be aware that the Hog is chilling here because you have seen him a few times. Whenever you make any rotation, you need to be sure that you deal with the angles like these first. There's no way you can push the enemy in any sort of way whatsoever if there's a Hog that's ready to jump your backline. This gentleman here is very scary, and whilst solo dueling a Roadhog isn't the easiest thing in the world, while your team is relaxing here at choke and not committing, you can probably expect some help from your team when dealing with him. And you don't actually need to kill him, you just need to do enough pressure that he cannot do anything and is forced away. Honestly though, you have been pretty impressive for a Diamond game thus far. They do have a Widow, so I would be a bit careful with peeking this much. We correct it, that's good. You don't need to be standing on point. We take the high ground, nice. If you have dynamite, then you can just dynamite Ana and no scope her to death. In almost every circumstance, you want the person you're attacking to be the person who you are dynamiting. Unlucky. Let's have a look from a bird's eye view to see what went wrong. Really bad nano blade when nobody's putting any pressure on the enemy at all. Roadhog is chilling in your backline free of charge. Your Zen is being a bit of a badass. Fair, not really much you could have done about this. Remember, your coach gun ability can be used to pill if your Roadhog, if the enemy Roadhog even, tries to hook your Ana or your Zen, then you can just coach gun the Roadhog away and it stops him from getting that one hit. Okay, their Widow has changed to McCree. Random dynamite. You have ult and no shields in front of you. They have a death squad of hit scans on their team. Peeking is a horrible habit when you don't need to, just chill. Roadhog dies, of course. Another stupidly early nano blade. I would be tempted to consider yeeting a bob in the backline to back the Genji up. Often timing of the bob is more important than the placement. We still have a hog problem. You pump out so many ultimates that your team just wins, but damn, that Roadhog is messing you up. You don't spend that long as Reaper, so I'm going to skip through it, but nice skin. You end up doing this. Then in embarrassment you tell your entire team that you're planning on switching anyways. And then the round ends. Honestly, not much you could do about that round because your team is actually Pepega. In order to carry your team that round though, you really needed to either switch early to counter the Roadhog, trying to counter the Roadhog yourself using Ashe, or just be a more mechanically skilled player and carry harder than their Roadhog. Anyways, let's see the next round.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective
Okay, we take bridge, and as you saw the Roadhog poop all over your team in that position, it is very tempting. But especially because you are squishy, you are really easy to force out by a lot of heroes in the game. Getting some ult charge is absolutely fine, but you don't need to be a fine player. You need to carry the hell out of this game because your team is just like so much worse than the enemy team. You need to switch your mind from this is an okay play to how the hell am I going to carry this game? In the same way that the enemy Roadhog could have played safe, he could have played moderate off angles, he could have played with his team, and he could have been an okay Roadhog. But he didn't decide to do that, he decided to take advantage of the fact that your team is absolutely trash, hide up on this bridge, and just carry his team. That's the mindset that you need to be in. So whilst staying on the bridge and then just getting some ult charge and jumping down again is a valid play, it's not going to win you this game. There's no need for you to show yourself just for a little bit of ult charge. Just hide on the stairs a little bit further back so that the Sigma can't scout you. Wait for the enemy team to push through choke and commit, and then dynamite their backline or their entire team, whatever you can do. Like if they don't scout you up here, then it's literally a free dynamite. And if they do scout you, you can literally just run away back into the angle that you're going to take anyway. Just remember, if you want to win unwinnable games, then go for mega proactive plays and combine that with a little bit of blind confidence. This face sums it up really. The massive elephant in the room here is the really sus positioning of your tanks. But focusing on you, going back to your team here is giving up this angle, which means that you are no longer helping your team put pressure on them. I know you want to deal with the Roadhog, but especially without Coach Gun up and no dynamite, not really much you can do here. If you want to deal with him, then Coach Gun up here, and then you can still be of use to your team, but you can also pressure him out safely. Remember what I said earlier, this dude, scary. I love this position. Wasted dynamite though. Dynamite is such a powerful ability for you just to guess it might hit someone. Unfortunate Bob. Your focus should probably be on the Bastion. Highly questionable. You had such a good position and absolutely no reason to give that up. Quickly want to show you how much of a Chad the enemy Roadhog is. +3 alpha points there. Anyways, let's continue.
At your service.
Stop the payload.
Nice, Sue. Big fan of taking high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Killing the Bastion is actually huge. Well done. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Unlucky. Hit shots, please.
I need heal decks.
Forcing Immo.
Stick that for man. I am on fire. Courtesy of the Deadlock Gang.
That angle is really nice. You are carrying this fight so hard. Absolutely perfect.
Fire in the hole.
Lovely reaction to the Roadhog.
Do something.
Okay, ultimate.
Here it comes.
If you are going to rotate, I would prefer if you did it a little bit earlier before the fight begins. Nice.
Of the Deadlock Gang. You need
Nice.
Thank you. Smoke man.
60 seconds.
When an enemy goes Winston just to try and sit on your face, you know you have done pretty well. This is Diamond and you are messing up tracers. Nice.
Do I have to?
30 seconds.
Get pooped on.
Do something.
You took that personally and now you're trying to get your own back on the Widow.
That's better.
You seem to take quite a long rotation mid-fight. So yeah, up until this point you're carrying every fight. But I want to show you why you didn't win the last fight. So here we get back to the fight and flank the enemy and end up dueling the Widow. Whilst this is an aggressive angle, it is absolutely fine because the fight has already started. The enemy can't just turn around easily and deal with you. On top of that, you are distracting the enemy Widow and Mercy. So whilst it's not a favourable engagement, it's not bad. But now your team is dealing with this Nano Monkey. Not doing a great job of it either. But now we take this rotation, right at the juicy part of the fight. It took you 6 seconds, which is a really long time mid-fight. Then we rotate again. And then the fight's just kind of lost at this point, unless you pop off and kill everyone. And then we run away. And then we look for a flank, but change our mind. And then we did. So before we finish, I want to talk about aggressive angles. The more aggressive angle you take, the less time you can expect to remain there. Not always true, but it's a good rule of thumb. It's a high risk, high reward play. So an angle like this down here, you can expect to get focused out quickly. And although it has nice health packs, in order to rotate back to your team or take a different angle, it'll take you ages. If you have moved here, or here for example, you could have gotten an easy dynamite and could have rotated to a better position easier. It's not a bad idea to have where to go next in your noggin. So I want to put this in a really simple to understand way. When you take a position, no matter what position on the map, it doesn't just matter how effective that position is. It doesn't matter just how much value you can get from that position. It also matters what rotations you have available. The best positions in the game give you multiple options. If the Widow turns around to shoot you, then you can go, nope, actually I prefer to take a different angle. If your team suddenly starts backing up, you've got to retreat. It's this versatility of angles which you also need to think about when you're playing the game. So by walking down here, you have put all of your eggs in one basket, knowing that that basket is about to break. Hopefully that makes sense, maybe, possibly. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's a match. So, in conclusion, your dynamites were okay, for ultimate charge that is. I would prefer for you to get more use out of them on the entire enemy team as they commit. And that way you and your entire team can follow up on it. Your coach gun usage I can't complain about, except you could have probably used it a little bit more to protect your backline against the Roadhog. Your positioning was S tier, definitely the best diamond positioning I have seen in a long time. I think you should probably think about the sustainability of your angles as well though, not just the effectiveness. I think you should care more about clearing angles before you engage. In this game, it was obviously the Hog, but in a lot of games, you're going to have somebody taking some aggressive angle. And don't get me wrong, it's a rough matchup right against a Hog, but some unscoped shots to his belly will give you ultimate charge and will force him to play less aggro. If he jumps down on you supports, then your full magazine combined with an anti-nade will melt him down pretty damn quickly. Your aim isn't that great, especially under pressure, but it's okay. You don't use cover very well, as Ashe you can play really close to corners, so I'd like to see that a little bit more. You use high ground pretty well, but there's still times when you can abuse it more. I think you really need to think about avoiding peeking as much as you do. I feel like in this game it's just a little bit of a habit. What else is there? Oh yeah, I want to talk about the distance you take. So Ashe is a mid-range hit scan, so she's sort of in between McCree and Widow in optimal range, sort of speak. But what a lot of people don't talk about is that she's actually versatile, she can do both. And that's a really strong part of her kit. It sort of relates to my point on dynamites, which is feel free to get greedy and go up close, because it will give you optimal dynamite opportunities. Pew 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 people, chuck dynamites in and coach gun away, and your damage output is actually really high. If you are going to exclusively play at long range, then you have to start asking yourself whether Widow is a better option. If you are going to try and flank a healer, for example, it is often a lot easier to finish them off if you're willing to close that distance and get like literally right up next to them. Anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions whatsoever, then pop them in the comments down below. Links to all my socials will be in the description, and have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Peace!